it always begins quietly, not with a dramatic choice, not with a war cry of discipline, but with something deceptively soft. You stop eating, a decision so small it barely makes a sound, a skipped meal, a night without dinner, a choice that slips between the minutes of your evening, like a breath you didn't realize you were holding. And yet, from the moment you make that decision, your body stirs, not loudly, but deeply. Inside you, a system that has obeyed the same rhythm for years suddenly senses something unfamiliar. The regular tides of glucose, the predictable surge of insulin, the steady hum of digestion, all of it begins to slow. For the first time in a very long time, your internal world experiences quiet. You don't feel it yet, but your biology does. Hour 1, the echo of habit. At first, nothing dramatic happens. Your stomach still holds the remnants of your last meal. Your bloodstream still carries sugars broken down from that meal. Your insulin is still elevated, doing what it always does, opening the doors of your cells, so glucose can enter. You don't notice anything except perhaps a faint emptiness that feels more like a passing thought than a physical signal. It's not hunger you feel, it's memory. Your body doesn't crave food now. It craves the pattern of eating, the ritual, the rhythm, the story you've told it every evening of your life, but you don't feed it, and that small rebellion begins to ripple inward. Hour 2, the gentle decline. Your insulin begins its slow descent, like a lantern being dimmed. As the last molecules of glucose are absorbed into muscle and liver cells, your body softly shifts into a state it rarely experiences in modern life. Post-absorptive rest. This is the phase your ancestors lived in constantly, but you have not entered willingly in a long time. Nothing hurts, nothing is wrong. You simply begin to glide down a biological slope towards something deeper. But your mind, always quicker to panic than your cells, may whisper questions. Should I eat something? Is this okay? Why does this feel different? Because it is different. Your body has lived under fluorescent light for years. Constant meals, constant snacks, constant incoming energy. Now, for the first time, night is falling inside you, and the darkness feels unfamiliar. Hour 4, the first threshold. The digestive machinery quiets. Your gut, usually so noisy and busy, now settles like a factory, turning off its lights one room at a time. Pancreas resting, stomach resting, intestines entering a slower motion, blood redirected away from digestion and toward repair. You feel lighter, not in the way you feel after a clean meal. Lighter in your head, your breathing settles, your chest loosens. Your body is not deprived, it is relieved. You have given it something priceless, a pause. Hour 6, the whisper of hunger. This is where the first true test appears. Not real hunger, but perceived hunger. A hollow sensation travels through your abdomen, more like a knock on a door than an alarm bell. But hunger is not a command. It is a request, and requests can be denied. Your ghrelin, the hunger hormone, rises briefly because it expects food, not because you need food. This is biology playing a familiar tune, hoping you'll dance the same steps as always. But you don't. And that act of stillness begins to teach your hormones a new rhythm. Hour 8, the first shift in identity. Something strange happens around hour 8, not physically, but psychologically. You begin to feel divided. One part of you expects food, the conditioned self, the domesticated self, the self shaped by convenience and abundance. But another part, quieter but older, awakens. A primal self, a remembering self, a self whose ancestors survived days without food, whose muscles were forged by scarcity, whose clarity was sharpened by hunger. This ancient self stretches in the dark corners of your biology and whispers, finally, we're back. Hour 10, the metabolic coastline. Your liver begins releasing glycogen, the storage form of glucose. This is your body walking along the shoreline, between two worlds, the world of glucose and the world of fat. The waves begin pulling back. A low tide. Your glycogen tank is draining, not in panic, but in preparation. You start to feel a thin line of calm spreading through you. You're not fully in fasting mode yet, not truly, but you're stepping closer to the threshold where your body stops depending on the outside world and turns inward. Hour 12, the quiet door opens. Most people never reach this hour, not in their whole adult life. They graze all day, snack at night, eat before sleep, grab a bite upon waking. Their biology never enters this doorway, but you have. At hour 12, your insulin reaches its baseline, your blood sugar stabilizes, and your body stands at the entrance of a new state, the fasting state. It's like a door opening into a room you've never entered, even though it has always existed inside you. Behind that door is clarity, discipline, rest. repair, and the beginning of metabolic freedom. Hour 13. The first internal negotiation. Your fat cells begin releasing fatty acids. Small amounts, tentative, cautious. They whisper into your bloodstream, like
Notice the
scouts testing new
significant activity
terrain.
during
Your
the
muscles
20 to
take them up,
24-hour
your liver
window.
inspects them,
This
your
contrasts
mitochondria
sharply
burn
with the
them.
weak signal
And for the
observed
first
around the
time in a
12-hour
long
mark.
time, your body remembers that fat was never the enemy. It was always fuel, waiting. But your brain? Oh, your brain still clings to its old cravings. This is the hour when excuses appear. Maybe just a small snack, maybe a fruit, maybe fasting isn't for me. Your body is adapting, your brain is negotiating, your identity is transforming. This is where heroes are made, not when lifting weights or running marathons, but in the silence between meals. Hour 14. The first glimpse of freedom. You begin to notice something unusual. The hunger waves pass, just like a tide that rises, swells, and then pulls back. You may even feel a strange kind of lightness behind your eyes, as if your thoughts have more space between them. Your brain is receiving its first whispers of ketones. Not enough to dominate, but enough to illuminate. It's like a lantern being lit in a dim corridor. Something inside you is waking up. Hour 15. The body switches priority. Every survival species on Earth has this moment, the moment it must choose, whether to store or spend. And your body chooses spend, not recklessly, not foolishly, but intelligently. It unlocks its vault of stored fat and begins releasing it with intention. Your mitochondria, the engines of your cells, switch from idle to active. They burn fat cleanly, efficiently, elegantly. Your energy stabilizes instead of dipping. You no longer chase each hour, looking for food. Your body begins to power itself from itself. This is the beginning of metabolic independence. Hour 16. The crossing. Then it happens, quietly, without fireworks, without applause. The metabolic switch flips. Every fasting researcher in the world talks about this moment, the transition from burning glucose to burning fat. It is not dramatic, but it is profound. Your cells begin using ketones in earnest. Your hunger softens. Your energy steadies. Your brain clears. You have crossed from the world of consumption into the world of transformation. This is the true beginning of fasting. Everything before hour 16 was preparation. Now, the real journey begins. The descent into the hidden chamber ***. 16 hours. The doorway has opened, but stepping through it is something entirely different. You are no longer simply not eating. You are entering a phase of biology, so old, so essential, so deeply woven into the story of human survival, that stepping into it feels like crossing from one identity into another. This is where the body stops whispering and begins to speak, not loudly, not violently, but with a kind of ancient authority, the voice of millions of years of adaptation. And in this second act of your fasting journey, you are about to hear that voice more clearly than ever before. Hour 1617, the glimmer of the inner shift. Your metabolic switch has flipped, but your body is still adjusting to the idea of fuel arriving from the inside instead of the outside. Outwardly, you may feel calm, but inwardly, your cells are experiencing a change in leadership. Glucose has stepped down from the throne. Fat, steady, abundant, patient, takes its place. Your liver becomes the conductor now, overseeing the first wave of ketone production. Small at first, mild, like the glow of a candle in a dark room. But even the smallest flame can change the shape of the shadows. You begin to feel that this hunger is not pain. It is transition. Your stomach is not crying. It is rearranging itself for a different purpose. This hour is your first taste of metabolic sovereignty. Hour 1718, the disassembling of routine. Something starts to crumble here, but it isn't your willpower. It is your habits. The automatic reaching for food, the soothing of emotions with taste, the reflexive chewing to cover silence. All of that begins to lose its grip, not because you are resisting, but because those old neural pathways are no longer being rewarded. Dopamine, which used to dance at the idea of a snack, now stands still, waiting, studying your new behavior. And the absence of reward creates a small, gentle collapse of the old pattern. This feels quiet, almost eerie, like walking past a place in your mind that used to be loud and finding it deserted. But that emptiness is not loss. It is space, and now your body finally has the room to begin something greater. Hour 1819, the awakening of the inner senses. Your mitochondria, the tiny engines of your cells, begin switching gears. Their fuel source has changed, and with it, their behavior shifts. They burn fat more evenly, producing fewer reactive byproducts. the noise of metabolism quiets, your internal environment grows cleaner, and your senses sharpen, not dramatically, not like a superhero awakening, but subtly. A new kind of attention emerges, one that feels old. Your ancestors felt this when they walked through forests, searching for berries, or stepped silently through grass, tracking prey. It's the awareness that comes from a brain running on calmer, steadier fuel. Your breath feels deeper, your hearing feels clearer, your eyes track movement more precisely. You have entered the primal clarity state. It is not hunger, it is readiness. Hour 1920, the emotional reckoning. Then comes the hour that breaks most people, not because the body is suffering, but because the mind is negotiating. This is the hour when you confront your relationship with eating, not as a habit, but as a story. Food has been your comfort, your reward, your stress relief, your distraction, your pause button, your background noise. Without it, the emotions underneath start rising, like old letters, floating to the surface of a long-forgotten drawer. Restlessness, irritability, sadness, boredom, a faint ache of longing. These are not signals of danger. They are signals of clarity. Your mind is showing you every place where food was a substitute for something deeper. And once you see this, you cannot unsee it. This is not the body challenging you. This is your emotional history, revealing itself. If you can breathe through this hour, the biology becomes easy. Because what you conquer here is not hunger, it is attachment. Hour 2021, the primal recalibration. Here, your body enters a phase that evolution designed with exquisite detail. When food is scarce, your physiology does not collapse. It adapts, not chaotically, but strategically. The sympathetic nervous system, the ancient hunt mode, activates gently, not enough to cause stress, but enough to sharpen. Your brain becomes more laser-focused. Your reflexes subtly improve. Your thoughts move more cleanly, from point A to point B. Meanwhile, your liver turns up the dial on ketone production. Not a trickle now, a steady flow. Your brain accepts them, eagerly, gratefully, as if remembering that this fuel once kept your ancestors alive. Through harsh winters and long hunts, you feel awake, but not agitated, calm, but not slow. This is biology, at its most elegant. Hour 2122, the sorting of the cells. A quiet, profound process begins here. Your cells start evaluating themselves. Every damaged mitochondrion, every dysfunctional fragment, every misfolded protein, they all come under scrutiny. Not destruction, not yet, just assessment. As though your cells have lit lanterns and begun walking through their own hallways, taking notes, marking corners, pointing to debris and saying, "We'll deal with this soon." This is the prelude to autophage, the biological renewal that will awaken fully after 24 hours. Right now, your body is identifying the broken pieces that no one noticed. When you were constantly eating, this is the hour when your cells rediscover honesty. They can't hide behind sugar anymore. They can't rely on incoming calories to mask their dysfunction. They must face themselves, and they do. Hour 2223, the lantern hour. Your ketone levels reach a point where your brain begins to glow with a different kind of clarity. Thoughts that used to feel tangled now feel simple. Conversations feel easier. Focus feels smoother. Breathing feels deeper. Your neurons love ketones. They burn them with a precision that glucose cannot match. You may feel a thin veil lifting, not completely, but enough to see the world differently. Colors look slightly richer. Your awareness feels wider. Your inner monologue feels quieter. This is not magic. This is chemistry. You have stepped into the lantern hour, where the mind lights up, because the body has finally dimmed its noise. Hour 2324, the descent into the hidden chamber. This final hour, before the 24-hour mark, feels timeless. You are neither tired nor energized. You are steady. Your body is not asking for food. It is preparing itself for the next stage. Inside you, lysosomes, the tiny recycling units of your cells, begin activating. Slowly, methodically, deliberately. Your cells begin opening their dusty storage closets. The corners where damaged parts have been shoved for years. This is the inner chamber, the place where renewal begins, the place your body reaches only when it has existed long enough without interruption. The threshold is here, and as the 24th hour approaches, your biology stands at the edge of something extraordinary. Not survival, not scarcity, but rebirth. You are about to enter the realm of autophage, the biological ceremony reserved for humans who give their cells the one thing modern life steals from them: silence. 24 hours A full day without food. Most people never reach this moment once in their adult life. But you've stepped into a chamber inside your biology that only opens when silence has lasted long enough. This is no longer a story about hunger. This is the beginning of cellular renewal, a process so intricate, so meticulously engineered by evolution, that modern science is only starting to explain what your ancestors simply lived. And as hour 24 arrives, your body crosses the threshold into one of the most extraordinary states a human can enter. Hour 24, autophagy ignites. Deep inside your cells, lysosomes swell awake. These microscopic structures, your biological cleaning crews, have been waiting for this moment. With patient precision, they activate like a silent army. They begin scanning every corner of your cell, searching for damaged mitochondria, old proteins, broken cellular machinery, toxic buildup, debris stored away during years of constant eating that passes. Your cells begin consuming their own waste, not as violence, but as transformation. Autophagy does not destroy you, it renews you. It reclaims the broken pieces and rebuilds them into fuel, into structure, into life. This is why fasting is linked to longevity, cleaner aging, and deeper resilience. For the first time in years, your cells begin cleaning the rooms. You never let them enter. Hour 26, the burn becomes clean. Your fat metabolism improves. Every mitochondrion, like a tiny engine, burns fuel with more precision, producing less metabolic waste. Oxidative stress diminishes. Inflammation softens like cooling embers. Your joints may feel lighter, your thoughts less foggy, your mood more even. Inside you, 1,000 engines hum in harmony for the first time in a very long time. This is the paradox of fasting. You do less on the outside, so your inside can work, like it has never worked before. Hour 28, the mind separates from craving. There comes a strange and beautiful moment during fasting when the body stops arguing. That moment appears here. Your hunger no longer speaks. With urgency, it becomes background noise, a soft hum, a breeze against your awareness. You begin to see the difference between instinct and habit. Food once pulled you like a magnet. Now you see it clearly, not as necessity, but as choice. The detachment is not cold. It is freeing. For the first time, you're not responding to the world. On reflects. Your mind stands apart from craving, and this separation feels like reclaiming a piece of yourself that you didn't know you lost. Hour 30. The body turns toward repair. Now, your cells are no longer just cleaning, they begin repairing. Mitochondria damaged ones are destroyed. New, more efficient ones are built. Old, dysfunctional proteins are broken down. DNA repair enzymes become more active. Immune cells recycle themselves and prepare for regeneration. Every part of your biology begins choosing what stays. And what goes? It is ruthless in the most beautiful way. What no longer serves you must be removed, so that what remains can operate purely. This hour is not about fuel. It is about quality control. Your cells are relearning how to be young. Hour 32. The emotional layer releases. As your body transforms chemically, your mind begins releasing what digestion used to suppress. Without the constant comfort of eating, your body gives you another unexpected gift: emotional clarity. Old frustrations, old tension, the static hum of stress, they begin to drain, like water swirling down a slow-moving funnel. The nervous system relaxes, in a rhythm most people have not felt since childhood. This isn't spiritual, it is neurological. Your vagus nerve, your sympathetic system, your hormonal environment, they are recalibrating without interference. You find yourself breathing deeper, without trying, thinking more gently, without forcing. Fasting does not just detox your cells, it detoxes your thoughts. Hour 36. The hunter's mind returns. You have entered the deep metabolic state, known to evolutionary biology as the hunter's phase. When our ancestors had no food, they did not collapse. They sharpened. They needed to track, think, strategize. Hunger sharpened intelligence instead of dulling it. Your body remembers this. Ketones now dominate your brain's fuel, and the result is unmistakable. Heightened focus, rapid pattern recognition, right men, steadier emotions, clarity without stimulation, silence inside your thoughts. This is the mind humans were built for. Alert, calm, precise. It feels like awakening, because it is. Hour 40, immune regeneration begins. This hour is where fasting moves from metabolic to miraculous. Your white blood cells, the soldiers of your immune system, begin to die off. Not the strong ones, not the effective ones, only the old, damaged, inefficient ones. Your body marks them for recycling. This triggers a stunning internal decision
We
to
begin
replace
by
them.
examining the
Stem
double helix
cells,
structure,
deep in your bone
which
marrow,
slowly
begin
transitions
activating
into the
to
broader
create fresh
cellular
immune
overview.
cells. This is not theory, this is documented research from the University of Southern California. By removing what is weak, your body prepares to rebuild what is strong. You are not merely cleaning, you are regenerating. Hour 42, deep autophagy. At this stage, autophagy goes from active to ravenous. Your cells are not just removing debris, they are rebuilding structures from the stripped down materials. Neurons clear out old proteins linked to neurodegenerative disease. Heart cells repair dysfunctional components. Immune cells undergo restructuring. Skin cells prepare for renewal. Gut cells begin repairing the intestinal lining. Every hour you remain in this state is worth days, sometimes years, of slow repair during normal life. This is the hidden currency of fasting. Repair compounds, recovery compounds, healing compounds. You are earning interest with every hour. Hour 44, the hormonal symphony. Something extraordinary happens here. Your hormones start communicating with perfect clarity. Leptin, the fullness hormone, resets sensitivity. Insulin, the storage hormone, stays at its lowest levels. Adiponectin, fat-burning hormone, rises. Norepinephrine, focus hormone, sharpens your mind. Growth hormone, repair hormone, reaches its peak. Your body is operating like a well-tuned machine. Not hungry, not frantic, just efficient. This is not starvation, this is mastery. Hour 48, the biological reset. 2 full days. You've entered one of the most powerful states a modern human can safely touch. At this hour, your immune system is rebooting. Your cells are clearing debris. Your genetics are switching on longevity pathways. Your mitochondria are renewing HOD. Inflammation plummet. Your mind is running on clean fuel B. Your hormones are balancing too. Your gut is healing. Your metabolism is resetting. At hour 48, your body stands in the center of a cathedral of biological silence. Everything unnecessary has burned away. Everything important is being rebuilt. You have stepped into a state that your ancestors knew intimately, and modern humans barely remember exists. This is not discipline. This is a dialogue between you and the deepest intelligence your body carries. This is fasting at its most powerful. This is rebirth, written in the language of biology. Beyond 48 hours, the sacred line. Going further is not about pushing limits. It's about intention and safety. The benefits continue, but so do the risks, if done without knowledge or supervision. But whether you stop at 16 hours, Archese, Centralo, or Otiokfure, you have already awakened a part of your biology that most people never touch. Your body has shown you its hidden capabilities, its quiet power, its ancient logic, its resilience. You have not weakened yourself. You have met yourself.